is in the studio with her headphones on. Melissa is in the studio with her same hairstyle. Yay!
I think you got a little offbeat, but
I did
least
I got everything right.
at least you didn't say my hair looked fine. Long pause. Not just, it looks fine. It looks
You remember.
fine.
기억하네요, Melissa.
PTSD. No. But I've been rocking it this week, so it's fine.
Yeah, it looks good.
No, I mean not the bun.
Oh.
I mean meal planning.
Meal planning?
Yeah.
Oh, more.
You wanna know my meal planning?
Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, you know what you're going to be eating?
Yeah, so here we go. Monday.
Salad day.
Okay,
sorry.
Do
Sorry
you want
to
me
cut
to be
you off.
honest or do you want me to lie to you?
No, be honest.
Okay. Monday was maple long john with half an apple fritter.
Wow.
Tuesday, maple long john.
What's a long john?
Oh, you don't know a long john? You don't know what pure joy is and
Long
delight
john.
and love
Is that
and
like a
happiness.
Banana split?
No, a long john is the long donut, like the long rectangular donut, often filled with delicious cream, like Boston cream.
Oh,
That's a long john.
Boston cream's
You've
good.
never had a long john?
I don't think so.
Surely they have long johns in Canada.
Maybe they sell it at Warteng Mart or something, you know?
But that's not delicious if you buy it from that particular place. You need to
Okay.
go to a special bakery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a Tim Tang.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
That place, they
But
have
I've
great
never seen-
maple donuts.
I've tried Canadian maple donuts. Has like,
It's almost the same, different
Oh.
shape.
okay, just long.
That's why it's called a long john, because it's
Okay.
long.
Okay, so you have
Yes.
that.
So that maple long john was Tuesday. Wednesday, apple fritter.
Okay.
So then can you predict what Thursday will be?
How would I know? Definitely not salad.
Okay, sprinkle donut. That's
My gosh.
Thursday. Yep.
Wow.
What can I say? I'm a picture of health.
But is that for breakfast, dinner, and lunch?
That's lunch.
Lunch.
Dinner, meh, I don't know.
Do you skip dinner?
No, dinner's the meal I never skip
Okay.
because I'm hungry.
What's your heaviest meal of the day?
Dinner. Always dinner.
Oh.
Are you a lunch person? Always heavy lunch, sometimes skip dinner?
Heavy lunch and heavy dinner.
Okay, I can get behind
and
that.
light breakfast.
Okay, see, my breakfast is always Americano. That's what it is.
I think-
Sometimes lunch is
man.
also
Isn't that-
Americano.
Don't you have like an upset stomach though when you have
No, if I eat like food
Yeah.
at breakfast, then I have an upset stomach. Like all day, my stomach is like, I hate you. What
I
have you
think it's
done to me? This
because-
is terrible.
Melissa is still young, right? Don't
Why,
you think so,
thanks.
guys? I think
look so
once you
youthful.
hit a different number in the front, the first digit changes to another one.
Okay.
Then you might be like, oh, maybe is not good for breakfast.
All right. Well, I mean, in the winter, I switch to hot Americano.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
That might be better for you.
maybe.
Easy on the stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's summer. It's hot.
It is.
So, well, technically it's fall, but it doesn't feel like fall. So,
Not yet, at least.
Not yet.
Maybe in October.
maybe.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so you're here for ridiculous controversies because that's what this segment's all about, and listeners might be curious why.
Yes, well, tourists are visiting Busan in record numbers, and with this popularity comes a lot of curiosity about all the details of life in Korea. So in this segment, we discuss the seemingly mundane parts of the average Busan resident's life and break down the ridiculous controversies surrounding them. And, even if there are no concrete answers to the controversies, as your Busan Chingus, we will try to talk you through them as only a true Chingu can.
And of course, this video will be put up on NotTube. So if you're watching us via NotTube, then write a comment. Let us know
Yeah.
what kind of controversial stuff that we should talk about in the future.
Absolutely. I would love to hear your suggestions.
Yes.
So, since the holiday season is here and it's, really a time when you need your chingus to share your horror stories with and make you feel less insane, right? Around the world. It's true for everybody. Holiday season, stressful time.
Yes.
So, We, of course, you don't want other people to have more problems than you, but when they do, it does help, right? I'm not saying that I'm happy you're miserable, but I feel less miserable.
Sure, you could be like, I'm struggling, my life is hard, and then you see your friend struggling and be like, oh, he's on the same boat.
Yeah.
Or she's on the same boat.
I'm not doing too bad. Yeah. So today I've got some real problems other people have asked what to do about. And David, we need to offer some advice.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, we'll read people of the internet's advice to see if it's any better than our advice.
All right, so what's today's topic?
All right, so I'm going to file this one under marital financial advice.
I'm not married yet, but okay, why not?
Well, you've had a long-term romantic relationship.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So I think, anyway, you could probably give
Sure.
some
Based
solid
off of
advice.
that. Okay.
Yes. All right, here we go. This is a 34-year-old man married to his 33-year-old wife. They're married just recently, but they dated 8 years before that.
Okay.
Good relationship, not much arguing, but, and it's a big but, the husband makes 4 times more than his wife. So he pays for most things and they split their rent according to salary.
Okay.
So that means he pays 3/4 of the rent. She pays just 1/4 since he makes much more money than her. Seems like they have that figured out.
Sure.
However, they want to buy a house now. So even though the husband is making more money, they live in a really expensive area. So he doesn't have enough money to make that 20% down payment alone. The wife needs to contribute.
Okay. 5%.
5%. Okay.
Well,
You think she should
1/4, right?
Okay. All right. So you think the rent
Okay.
amount should kind of carry over
Right.
into
For
the
anything,
down payment?
I think, at least.
Okay.
Well, at least a little bit, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So we know that she's not making much money. But at the same time, because she's making a lot less than he does, and he can't even make the down payment alone for the 20%,
Right.
we're wondering, does she have enough?
Right. This is where it gets complicated. This wife has a bestie bank account with her 4 other friends, and they all chip in monthly to this account. So it sounds pretty similar to friend groups here in Korea that
Okay.
each decide to contribute like 이men원 or 오men원 per month to like a 1박 2일 마시고 토해요 party fund or, whatever. But
Yeah.
this woman has been contributing hundreds of dollars, at least like 20만 원, 30만 원 per month to this bestie account that is only in one friend's name. This woman's name is not on the bank account.
Sketchy.
And their goal, they say, is to use that money to, quote, invest in something together.
In her name.
Yeah, and in some other friend's name.
Yeah, it's not in her own name, but in her friend's name.
Yes.
So technically, it's her money now.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
That's ridiculous.
You're okay. So
Oh, my.
already we're concerned.
And I've never, so I've heard of Korean friends here in Korea pitching in,
Yes.
like 20,000 won up to 50,000 won per month so that they could go on a trip together.
Yes, right.
I've
Kinda
never done
common.
it myself.
Same.
I'll be like, I'll just, transfer you the money afterwards.
Yes, right.
Not
when you
before.
figure out how
Right.
much is the hotel, whatever,
Exactly.
then you send them
Yeah,
the money.
if you have maybe like a points credit system and
Yes.
you use your credit card, you can get the bonus out of it, but then I'll split half with you or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, people do it a lot. It's common here in Korea. But I don't think this is common.
Right,
Where she
not-
would transfer.
This much money.
Yeah.
This is a lot of money. So they've been doing this a long time because the wife has $20,000, which is more than 2,700만 원
Wow.
in this friend group account, which is not in her name for the record. And this 2,700만 원 is just waiting around to be
Wow.
invested. This is not like a high interest savings account or anything like that.
Is it just her money or is it her money plus her friend's money together? That's 2,700만 원.
just this one woman has 2,700만 won in there. So
Wow.
presumably every friend would also have 2,700만 won in there, assuming they invest the same amount.
Wow.
I say invest very loosely, saying that they transfer the
Yeah.
same amount.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yes. So this husband, right, because it is a lot of money, he asked his wife to pull her $20,000 from the friend fund because it's in a friend's name anyway, could be dangerous, and use that towards the down payment of the house. Can you guess how this is going to go down?
Well, did she say no?
Yes, that is exactly what happened. The wife refuses to contribute any money to their future home's down payment because she promised her friends she wouldn't touch that money. And here's the zinger. She added that since he makes more money than her, it'd be easier for him to just make more money because it'd be easier for him.
Well,
Discuss.
Okay. Yeah. He grows money, right?
Yeah, right. You know, when
He has
people tell
trees growing
me
money.
make more money,
Yeah.
I mean, I think, well, why didn't I think of that? I'm just going
Yeah.
to walk over to the money tree, pick some more money,
Shake
and
the
then
tree.
Yeah, bam,
Yeah.
more money. I mean, you know, really,
Ridiculous.
we're dummies. What were we thinking? Just go to the money tree.
And
Yeah.
and you said she promised her friends. I
Yes.
don't like that word, promise. When you get married to that person, you promise to love him and her,
Yes.
you know, till death.
Maybe
right?
they just cross their fingers during that
Oh,
part.
my.
I promise to love you. Yeah. Maybe.
So she's, I don't know, like just this story alone, and just one side of the story too, right? Makes it seem like she's choosing her friend over her husband
Right.
and their future.
It's very complicated. So I'm curious if your friends suggested making a friend account.
No.
Not this much money, not 20만 원 per month. Maybe like 2만 원 or 5만 원 per month.
Now,
Why not?
we just go do our thing. One person pays and we split equally. I like to do it afterwards, not beforehand.
Not before. Why not
Yeah.
before? Because before
There's no point.
But before you
Yeah.
know the budget. Right? Budgeting. Not important to you? You just make so much money, you're just rolling in the chingaling, take a bath in it so you can just
I'd rather
drop
put
your money?
my savings into my account. And then I
okay.
have that sum of money in a different account that I can use for hanging out with my friends.
Oh, you separate like expense account
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fun money.
Right, I have those. Yeah, I have that.
Good idea. Okay.
So I have just money laying around
Okay.
for it to be spent.
Woohoo! Let's go to David's house. He's got money laying around.
But
Okay.
I don't use it. I don't use it just to, have fun, but whatever. But
You
anyway.
don't use it just willy-nilly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Everything has a purpose.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Fun
Yeah.
account versus Bill's account.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like for me also, making a joint account with even my husband is super hard. So I think in Korea, at least, getting all the friends' names on one account would be impossible. It'd have to be the same situation that this woman is in, right?
Yeah.
Just one friend's name. And then it seems really annoying, right? Because one friend has the burden of keeping track of all the money, and we're all busy, you know? Who has time for another chore like this? But
Put in 20만 원 a month.
yeah, because also, personally, I don't really like the 1박 2일 pension trips, which in Korea, that's
Do you
what
think
would
that's-
require this kind of like big savings account.
Not 2,700만 원.
Yeah, not that big. That would be,
Do you
yeah.
think, why? Why? Is it because you think it's a waste of money or what?
Well, personally,
Uh-huh.
I don't like the staying overnight in a pension. English, we'd say maybe like a condo rental.
Sure.
Right? Because maybe when you're 18 and you've never lived alone before and you have the opportunity to cook samgyeopsal, it's exciting. But I already have my own house that
Yeah.
I have to clean. I
Sure.
already have my own meals I have to cook every day, which, by the way, I'm winning at with my, donut meal planning, for the record. But yeah, it just feels like more work, right? Because to go to a pension, I have to bring half my 냉장고 with me. And then I have to cook and clean while I'm there.
Okay.
So, I don't want to do that.
But these pensions are usually unique in architectural design.
Really?
They're like in the middle of nowhere, so this
that's true.
You know, and they
Feel
got
the nature.
big pools as well and jacuzzis, things that you
What?
might not
a
have.
jacuzzi?
Yeah.
I've never been
You've
at
been to,
a
like,
rental with a
maybe
jacuzzi.
Yeah, you gotta do some more research on which pensions are worth going.
See, a jacuzzi one might actually be worth it.
Yeah.
But I'm still not bringing half of my Ninjago with me, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to make an account to
Okay.
save for it either.
Yeah, I'm not on that either. So yeah, making a separate account, that to me sounds a bit sketchy. Almost like, you know, those scammers who will be like, oh, invest in me.
Yes. Oh, there's
double
so
your money.
many
Yeah.
of those.
It kind of falls in that scheme, at least for me.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a big risk. And this husband, he actually called his new wife's friend fund stupid. And, you know, oftentimes calling the activities of your
no.
spouse stupid, it's a shockingly bad idea.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
But, I mean, financially, you have to kind of agree with him because having so much money in a bank account with some other friend's name on it means you have no legal claim to the money,
Exactly.
right? So, online, of course, the people of the internet have a lot of advice. One person said that investing with friends, it doesn't really make sense to have this joint account because right now it's not invested. It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
With
it's not even
no
earning
plans.
interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, assuming that you'll always be friends, that one person with the name on the account, they have to pay taxes. If that friend has an accident and dies, then where does the money go?
My, it's all under her name.
Right? So
Yeah.
just legally, a lot of issues.
For sure.
But then there's the relationship problems, right? So, yes.
I never try to have money involved in any form of relationship unless you're married, of course, and you might, you know, have to talk about financial stuff with your husband or wife. But when it
then-
comes to friends and stuff, I've had experiences where I started a business with a friend. It never worked.
Okay.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
Because we would, you know, fight over stupid things and be like, okay, let's not work together.
So are you still friends?
Not really.
That's often what
Yeah.
people say happens,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to mix like friends and finances.
Exactly. So
Not
I
a great
would,
idea.
Yeah, that no. That's
Yes.
a no-no for me.
So then what about, you said you have to mix finances when you're married. What if you are engaged? Because a lot of people did blame this husband saying, you know, you dated her for 8 years.
You probably knew all about it.
You knew about this friend fund.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do anything? So what about in that case? Like, how do you split financial things when you're dating, seriously dating
Yeah.
someone?
Oh, I don't know. Like, let's say if I were in a relationship and for that with this person for 8 years, and I found out that she has this friend fund thing going on, I would be like, so when we get married, I would bring up the question: when we get married, could you pull it out for different investment purposes?
Okay.
I would, you know, at least ask her that.
Yes, if
For a
she's
possibility.
willing
Yeah.
to use that money.
If that's an option at all, and if that's not the option, then I have to either you know
Break up?
No,
You're gonna break up about the friend
8 years
fund?
is a long time. So
Okay.
either convince her
Okay, convince her.
or just don't even think about it at all. Like that's her
Oh.
money. That's her.
That's
you know,
very
just-
generous of you.
Well, what can I do?
Well,
Yeah.
that's the issue here,
Yeah.
right?
What can he do?
Some people online, they were saying that this husband is being treated like a sugar daddy.
Oh my.
All right. Other people said they would not buy a house with someone who would rather have an uncertain investment fund with friends than help with the down payment of a shared house. So some people suggested this poor guy get a post-nup. Have you heard of this? A post-nuptial agreement. So a lot of people know prenup, the prenuptial, like before you get married, you have a
Sure.
contract.
Okay.
If we fail and get a divorce, then you get this and you get this, and right. But they're suggesting he gets a post-nuptial, so after marriage, basically contract, saying that okay, if I have this down payment and it's all my money, and then we get divorced, the house is mine, and then you can, have your friend fund.
Right, front fund back.
Yes. So that's what people online are saying about this issue. And people are worried about the wife's priorities, that it's her friends, not her husband. What do you think? Is this the wife's priority? That's what people of the internet are saying. She's choosing friends over their life together.
When I saw it, when I first heard the story from you, it seemed like she was definitely choosing her friend over the husband.
Okay.
And so, I don't know. I think they should have like a deep talk.
Yes.
About their relationship going forward and about how they can, figure out the housing funding.
Yes.
Without a deep, solid talk, this will go chaotic, I think.
Right? This had a lot of people all riled up. Other quotes about this online. People said the wife sounds financially illiterate.
Oh.
People said she was being illogical. And again, it kept popping up. She's not prioritizing her family. Some people said she's a financial liability in the relationship. Ooh, interesting little combination of words here. You don't hear that often.
Yeah.
So here's something that I thought was very interesting. One person suggested that the friend fund, allegedly for investing, again, is actually a joint, quote, escape a bad marriage fund, which, if that's the case, yikes for this guy. Like emergency money in case of a divorce.
Oh, my.
Some people are saying maybe that's why the wife doesn't want to contribute to the house down payment.
Wow.
Because she's married 4 months.
Okay.
And already planning for
that
for a divorce from this guy.
That is an option. Like a post-nup agreement or like a
Yes.
contract with your wife, even though you're legally married and all that. I feel like when it comes to money-related things, it's best to have a contract.
Yes, it's so stressful.
It is, so that you could save both you and your partner the stress.
Yes.
Because you have everything written down in a piece of paper with the lawyer stamp.
Right, with the lawyer stamp. Yeah. It's just surprising. Only married 4 months, but
Already going through this.
possibly. That's what people of the internet have suggested. Which, I mean, if that's true, I don't know. Why did she get married? What was the point? I don't know.
Yeah, well, listeners, you guys let us know in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts about this whole issue. Are you on the husband side or on the wife side? Let us know. Any last thoughts before we wrap it up?
Yeah, well, last thought, this is a mess. So single people, if you were just yelled at by your family members for being single, go ahead and cite this as one of the life problems you successfully have avoided because of your singleness. So maybe that'll calm down an angry family member or two.
Yeah, well, it is a Wednesday, the last leg of the Chuseok holiday weekend. Maybe not bring it up at all. Avoid the trouble.
Feel inner confidence and inner peace
Exactly.
that this is not your problem. Yes.
All right, that's all the time we have for today on Busan Chingu Talk, but we'll have more next week. And so stay tuned for next week.
Yeah, we will definitely have more ridiculous controversies next week.
That's right. All right, thank you, Melissa.
We'll see you soon.
See ya.